Welcome to F1 Global Presentation. We are a subsidiary of One Enercon Solutions, and our aim is to help people by sharing an opportunity of the 21st century breakthrough products and technology. How do we help people? We help people by providing them protection from technology and energy pollution, by addressing health conditions, and by helping them save by reducing their expenses for gasoline, for electricity, and for medicines. We also like to share an opportunity. We'd like everybody to be an entrepreneur because everybody needs an increase in income and multiple sources of income. There are a lot of people that get into businesses now. The problem with the usual business is the high capital requirement. In our case, you don't need any capital. You just need to buy the product for yourself, and that will already give you an opportunity to share and earn by just sharing, by simply sharing your information. The timing is perfect now in this time of pandemic when everybody's just at home worried about loss of job and loss of income. The principle of our product is nanotechnology. It is the manipulation of matter on an atomic, molecular, and supramolecular scale. Our product looks like a credit card. It is a bioceramic material that encapsulates certain minerals that emit energies and affect the molecules of electricity, the molecules of gasoline, and the molecules of our body. Our cards are the Wonder Card, F1 Micro Card, the Fuel Saver Card, and the Industrial Card. Now, there are different cards because the content of minerals within each of the cards are different. The bigger cards, like the Fuel Saver Card and Industrial Cards, have a lot of minerals. Therefore, the energies emitted by these cards, they're more powerful. The Wonder card is the next powerful card, and the F1 Micro has less minerals, although it is also as effective. So the Fuel Saver card is used to save fuel. It can also be used to save electricity and for major medical conditions such as cancers, such as major diseases of the body. The Wonder card and the F1 Micro are used for electricity saving. The F1 Micro are used for minor aches and pains. The Wonder card is used for also for major medical conditions. So the uses of the cards are for number 1, to save on electricity. Number 2, to protect us from the electromagnetic radiation from all our devices and from all the towers that surround us. Helps us save fuel and has a number of medical benefits. The person behind our card is Engineer Batung. He is a nuclear scientist and he holds 8 patents. So our cards were developed by a scientist. The energies that are emitted from our cards are negative ions, scalar energy, and far infrared. If there's anything that you need to research about the cards, you research on these 3 energies. Look at the benefits of these 3 energies. Negative ions versus positive ions. Okay. Positive ions cause stress, cause illness. Negative ions are antioxidant, helps you relax, oxygenates your body, purifies your blood, regenerates the cell, and stimulates energy. So negative ions are very good for the body. Now, where do you find negative ions? You can find them in nature, like in the forest, in hot springs, in waterfalls, and in the beach. When you're sick, you tend to want to go to the beach, right? It is when the water crashes in the waves that negative ions are created. Positive ions, on the other hand, are found in enclosed areas such as the office, industrial areas, the malls, and in your homes. So when you're wearing the cards, it's like you are in the forest or in the beach because negative ions will be going around your body and filling your body with healing energy. Negative ions are used to eradicate odor. So we have tried this in a car that, we sprayed with Lysol, I know, with Baygon, and the smell lingered for so long. If you put a card inside the car, the smell will dissipate very quickly. Okay, it enhances metabolism. So me and my daughter, we use it on our stomach, and we find that when we wake up in the morning, there's no bloating in the stomach, and we kind of lose weight. It reduces stress as well, strengthens immunity, removes fatigue, enhance hormonal balance, treats inflammation, eliminate bacteria. I will expound on some of these later. The other energy is scalar energy. Scalar energy is a bit more complex, but the way I picture it is scalar energy is the aura that surrounds our body. Okay, now this is a picture of a cell. The cell with a bigger aura is a healthy cell. The cell with a smaller aura is a sick cell. So the bigger the aura, the healthier the cell. Now this is a cancer cell, cancerous cell. The way I picture it is a cancerous cell will try to survive. So what it does is it steals the energy from healthy cells around it. So I guess when it steals energy, then the healthy cells around it become less healthy. So another way of picturing it is if you put the card on top and below the area of the cancer cell, it will provide enough energy for the cell to survive so it doesn't have to steal energy from the surrounding cells. All life is energy. Optimize that energy and you optimize your health. Charge your body with the right currencies, frequencies, and you prevent disease. Okay, these are what doctors and other healing professionals found with the use of the energies. Not necessarily the card, but our cards do have these kinds of healing as well. So, it reduces varicose veins. Okay, it reduces varicose veins by reducing the inflammation, right? Okay, increased mobility after strokes because we have had at least 3 patients using the card. They were bedridden, and then after 1 day to 3 days with the cards on their chest and on their nape, they can walk. They become normal. They can walk again. Okay, it helps depression and grief. Maybe because in depression there is stagnation of and inflammation in the brain. So the cards can reduce inflammation and improve circulation in the brain. Okay, regeneration of damaged brain cells. Okay, healing of autistic brain. I have not tried this, but it's very interesting. Okay, restoration of sight in eyes. Woo, this is amazing. Haven't tried it yet. Okay, and then healing of skin disorders. Our experience here is somebody with I think they call it an. What she did was she put the card in the water. She dipped the card in the water for, a number of minutes, maybe 30 minutes or a day, and used the same water to bathe. And slowly and surely the an disappeared. Improvement in ALS and HIV, I haven't seen that yet. Healing of viral problems and clearing of candida. Okay, viral problems, like in my case, whenever I get the flu, whenever I get sick, I don't have tonsils, so my illness will take me weeks to recover. So when I feel that the flu is coming, I already wear my cards on my throat, on my chest, on my lungs, on my head, especially when I'm asleep, when I'm in bed, and my illness will not go for more than 2 or 3 days. Stopping pains of joint disorder. So it helps a lot of people with arthritis. I have actually damaged my knees in badminton, and I have had therapy for a month in Medical City. But after that, I noticed that the pain was still there. So I thought to myself, oh my God, I have to wear a cane I have to use a cane for life. So I just used the two small cards, the F1 micro. I just put them on my knees. Within 15 minutes, I was thinking, oh my God, I don't feel the pain anymore. So I just continued to use the cards. After 1 day, after 2 days, 3 days, completely gone. And now I can play tennis. Now I can go ballroom dancing. Kidneys. We have had a lot of people with kidney problems. As in, my driver had kidney problems. He thought he was going to die, and he was given um, antibiotics regularly, and which caused a lot of pain in his stomach. So when he used the cards the next day, the pain on the kidneys disappeared. Now he's kidney free. He's free of any problems with his kidney, and it's been like 5 years. Okay, so the other energy, the third energy, is far infrared. According to NASA, far infrared radiation spectrum is most effective in penetrating the human body. It has the ability to penetrate, refract, radiate, and convert, and human body, and can absorb them. The thermal effect within the deep layers of tissues cause blood vessels in capillaries to dilate, promoting better circulation, and helps to get rid of body toxins and metabolic wastes. The fuel saver has a higher far infrared emission. I have an oncologist that uses the cards and tells her patients to just use the fuel card because it is anti-cancer because of the far infrared energies that emit. It is it reduces toxins, so it detoxifies the body. So again, the benefits of the energy cards are improved blood circulation. Just read. With water molecules, it shrinks. It breaks up the water molecules, makes them smaller, so it permeates the cells easily. My daughter, who used to have migraines, she said whenever she wears the cards on her head, it's like the card is sucking out the migraine. That's how she feels. And back pain, it's very effective for back pain as long as there is no structural damage. Because like if there's a structural damage to the spine, then it can reduce the pain because it will reduce the swelling and the inflammation. But if there's a structural damage, then there's only so much that it can do. We have had people use it for arthritis and for gout and find it very effective. Okay, this is interesting. Um, it is good for plants and greens. So in our garden, we have a pail where I submerged a fuel saver card. That's a strong card, and it treats the water. So we use that water to water the plants, and we find that the plants are greener, sturdier, and more productive. Our fruits, the bananas, the the vegetables, are very healthy and very productive. Reduces inflammation. We've had a lot of people who have, sprained their ankles, sprained their knees, and, hurt their bodies. And you just put the card, the next day the inflammation disappears and it's not painful anymore. And then sometimes they remove the card and then, they forget to put it back and then the inflammation comes back. So they put the card again and then the inflammation disappears. Okay, cancer cells, we have had a lot of experience with cancer patients. I have an inventory of testimonials from people that I actually know, and there are a lot there that have cancers. Some have passed away, but at least, the excruciating pains, they don't experience it. They don't have to take really strong medicines. And sometimes these people, they learned about the cards and they were planning and they decided to use the cards when they're already stage 4. So it's best that you use the cards early or even now so that to prevent cancer and to prevent, if you have cancer, to prevent it from progressing. The nice thing is even if you do decide to take chemotherapy and, the Western medicine, you can still just put the card on the cancer area. If it's cancer, put it on top and behind. So if for example you have cancer of the colon, you put it on top of your stomach, you put it behind so that the cancer area is sandwiched to maximize the energy, and you will see uh, amazing results, right? This is interesting. It destroys viruses and bacteria. So maybe since like when I have the flu, it takes me just 2 days, 3 days, and I'm clear of, all the symptoms. But before, when I have the flu, I'm sick for like a month or a week. I'm just coughing forever. So yes, it will reduce maybe it will destroy virus and bacteria because my illness uh, is very quick to resolve. I will show you a video later of the reduction of EMF, electromagnetic radiation, from a laptop. I will show that video in a while. Okay, better focus and concentration. This is interesting because the engineer Clyde, he said that before his son was always at the bottom of the class when it came to, when it came to grades. And then suddenly his son is like number one, number two in the class. So he asked his son, what happened? And you know what his son said? I put the card under my pillow. He said he just put the card under the pillow. So I guess the energy is really good for the brain. It helps you remember, it helps you focus. But may I suggest that if you're going to use this for your children, don't use the very powerful cards. According to my friend, there's no reason why you can't use it because these are natural energies. But I'm not sure. We don't really know. It's best to use at most the WC cards. For me personally, I use the industrial cards, the 20,000 cards. I use those because I have them, but I'm not a child, so I can take the risk. Improves awareness and calmness. This is amazing because my daughter, I don't know if some of you know that my daughter performs with Andrea Bocelli. She performs with him in 20,000 full arenas all over the world. Anyway, the first time she performed with him, she got a panic attack. And when she gets a panic attack, she's like she can't breathe, or she's shaking and she's useless. The first time it happened, I had to rush her to the emergency room. So she got a panic attack 2 hours before she was supposed to go on stage. with Andrea Bocelli. So I said, oh my God, what am I going to do? Then I remembered I had cards. I said, okay, I'm going to put the card on your chest. I'm going to put it at the back. Now, breathe in, breathe out, relax, relax, breathe in, breathe out. And then she said, Mommy, in fairness, I feel so much better. So it really calms your body because why? It slows down the palpitations. It relaxes the body. So I have actual experience of this card helping. Imagine if you're 2 hours to go on stage and you're having a panic attack. Okay, we all use cell phones, right? We all have tablets, we all use laptops, and wherever you go, you will see a cellular tower. We don't realize that this causes a lot of pollution. It is inherent in our technology, in our world today, that there is a lot of radiation, there's a lot of pollution. Between 20% and 60% radiation is transferred into your brain. So if you have an infrared camera, you will see that once after you use a phone for a while, there's a part of your head that is hot. So it's like you're cooking your brain. The radiation penetrates 1 to 1.5 inches into your brain. There are a lot of studies before that says that there's no effect, but of course what they're finding out now is the studies were all financed by cell companies, unfortunately. But now there are a lot of reports saying that yes, there is an effect to the human body. It destroys the DNA. Can you imagine for children where the bones are still soft and you know they have to entertain themselves using the phone, using their tablets, and now with virtual learning, they will be exposed to a lot of radiation. The least that we can do is to attach cards to the devices and to let the children wear cards to protect their bodies from the radiation. Studies showed that there was a 50 to 90% increase in brain cancer. Can you imagine that? This is the electromagnetic. The card changes normal water to smaller water clusters and facilitates nutrient and mineral absorption efficiently. Okay. Here are some testimonies from people who I actually know. Okay. This is a secretary of my friend, and her dad had clogged arteries and is wheelchair bound, so he couldn't walk because his legs were swollen. After one overnight on the card, he was able to get up and walk to the doctor's office. After 3 days, he needed an angioplasty. And this is what the secretary said. I have good news. One major leg artery, previously blocked and scheduled for angioplasty, was suddenly cleared per MRI results. I think it happened during that time he woke after feeling something like electricity running in his legs. Too bad I was able to lend it to him for 3 days, so they're buying a card once they have the money. Unfortunately, this yeah. Okay, that's it. Okay, how about this is from my friend. She's an executive of Chevron. Her sister-in-law had stage 3 colon cancer. According to the doctor, the tumor was too large for the doctor to operate on. Rachel gave her WC cards to wear over the colon area. The tumor shrank enough so that the removal was viable. So the smaller tumor was surgically removed, and she was okay after that. Stage 4 cancer from this is a story of my driver who went home to Bohol and he wanted to sell the cards for electricity saving. He found out that his neighbor, a poor farmer in Bohol, had stage 4 cancer and the doctors gave up on him. He was given a few days to live. He was like paralyzed from the waist down. His right arm was swollen. After one overnight with a card, he was able to wiggle his toes and he tried to stand up, and he could walk. His stomach that was previously bloated also subsided. Now he is back to farming and feeling normal, living normally. We actually asked him to go back to the doctor, but he refused because he lost all his money and property on his medical bills, and his doctor just gave up on him. All it took to bring him back to normal were 2 health cards. Sciatica. This is from my sister. She said, this is her text. My sciatica pain was worse than ever, was worse than giving birth. Remember, I have a very high threshold of pain. I wrapped my butt cheeks and tailbone with 2 big energy cards and 1 small energy card. Now I am pain-free. The feeling before was like torn, ripped skin and cracked bones. Now I can jog. So I plan to add more cards for my hips. Next time I'll buy for my back. Hooray, God sent. Arthritis on finger. This is from a doctor who couldn't write prescriptions because her fingers were stiff and painful because of arthritis. So Marika lent her cards, and all she did was hold on to the cards. She just held on to the cards, and then now her fingers are mobile and and she can write. She can write again. Back pains and sore throat. This is from an oncologist. This is the same oncologist that told her patient, who was my friend, to just wear the cards. They're anti-cancer. Anyway, that oncologist, my friend went to her and she said, Doc, here are the cards. Then that time she had back pains and sore throat. So the doctor put the card on her back and on her throat. And she said, wow, she could feel the energy immediately and her back pain and her sore throat disappeared. This was an oncologist that's a naturopath. She believes in natural healing. So her mind was open to this. Excruciating back pain. Okay, this is from my friend from Thailand. He's actually a PhD, so no nonsense. He said, I gave it to my friends and thought it was just our imagination, but the pain had really gone away. One lady admitted that she never thought her suicidal pain, can you imagine suicidal pain, had been killing her shoulder for months, could be cured. She was ready to go under the knife and take a chance with the operation. Anyway, after using the card for almost a month, she had called and told me that the pain was gone totally and without using any medication. So it's also been used for gout, for colds and UTI, for brain tumor. Okay, as a fuel saver, this is also amazing. So what it does for your car is it makes your car more responsive. So it gives your car more power, reduces fuel consumption, and reduces pollution by reducing carbon deposits on the tailpipe. Okay, how does it actually work? Okay. In my case, I have a Montero that uses diesel. As you know, diesel is a relatively dirtier fuel because the molecules of diesel are huge, are larger. So when it goes through a combustion process, not everything is burned. So it leaves a lot of debris, which goes to the environment and causes pollution. When you put the card, when you stick the card under your gas tank, the energies of the card will shrink the molecules of the fuel. It's like refining the fuel and makes combustion more efficient. If combustion is more efficient, it takes you further. It saves fuel, and it reduces the debris that is left in the tailpipe and reduces pollution. So this is what you do. You have to clean, you have to go to a gas station, lift your car, clean the under of your gas tank. As in, it has to be really clean. And then attach the fuel saver card. You can request for 3M stickers for this purpose and attach them on the underside of your gas tank. In our case, we also put duct tape to secure the cards. For cars, you need 1 to 2 cars depending on the size of the engine, depending on the size of the fuel, the fuel tank. There are some cars that have plastic fuel tank. It won't be as effective because the plastic will insulate the fuel from the energies. For SUVs and vans, you need 2 to 4 cards. In my Montero, I use 2, but in the larger SUVs, you need 4. Trucks and buses, you need 4 to 8 pieces of fuel saver cards. Motorcycle, all you need is an F1 card. For the small bikes, is an F1 card. So that's only 1,500 for one motorcycle. For the bigger bikes, you can use 2 F1s or you can use the Wonder card. It's also being used by to-go ships, and you can actually use it for anything that uses fuel like generators and anything that uses fuel. Okay, this is a sample, an actual sample of a person who used the cards. Before, he said the 60 liters is equal to about 420 kilometers. With the cards attached to his gas tank, his 60 liters brought him to 609 kilometers. That's a 45% increase in fuel efficiency. I think this shows the power that it increases the power of the engine of the car. Like because in my Montero, in our place we have to climb like a hill, and usually when we do climb the hill, since my Montero is diesel, you just press on the gas, but you don't feel the response of the engine. It has a hard time climbing. But with the cards, you just press a little and you will feel the power of the engine. It climbs the steep hill so easily. the engine is responsive. It's very responsive. Okay, this is a sample of tailpipe emission testing before and after the use of the cards. You will notice here the carbon emission is reduced by 84%. The hydrocarbon emission is reduced by 77%, and the nitric oxide is reduced by 33%. So actually, this is the solution to our pollution problem. Unfortunately, we tried to get the tricycle drivers to install the cards, but they don't have 1,500. So they said they can pay 50 pesos every day, but or I think every week or every day, but they cannot pay 1,500. So we need somebody to finance this for the tricycle drivers. Maybe we can approach the LGUs. So here are some sample installations. Okay, so this is my testimony on my Montero. So we put 2 fuel cards before the cards. 1 full tank will be consumed in about a week. With 2 cards under, a full tank will be consumed from 14 to 20 days. And usually, if it's a diesel, you have to have your car tuned up every 6 months. There was a time when we forgot to tune it up for about 3 times, so maybe that's 1.5 years. But when they checked the oil, the guy in the shop said, "Why is your oil very clean?" But we never changed the oil. So it keeps the engine clean. If the engine is clean, it is more efficient. For motorcycle, this one was used by people in Bohol. They said 1 full tank, because it's a small tank. Small tank usually lasts them 3 days. With 1 card attached to the tank, it takes them like 6 to 7 days to refill the tank. The cards can also be used to save on electricity. It cuts down electricity wastage, it reduces the overheating, and improves waveform distortion. Okay, here are a sample of electric bills that went down from 7,200 to 4,900. That's a 32% savings. Okay, so what happens here is from the electric post of Meralco, the energy enters your meter. Now notice, according to our electrical engineers, the best conductors are gold and water. So this is not feasible as electrical conductors for homes and for offices. So we use copper wire, we use sometimes aluminum wire. So since they're not as efficient in conducting, they have certain frictions that waste energy. So if you look at if you put a meter on the wire, I forgot what you call that meter that measures the movement of electricity through a wire, you will see that there are a lot of spikes. Now these spikes are waste, cause waste, right? So it enters your meter, enters your breaker, goes in the home, and are used by your appliances. Some appliances are sensitive and can be destroyed by the fluctuations in the electricity source. So sometimes you have to put a AVR, auto voltage regulator. Okay, so there's a lot of wastage. It goes back to the meter and it tells you that you used a lot of electricity. Our proposition is, why not attach certain cards on your breaker? Okay, there are a number of cards that are required, not just 1 card, and there's a way of doing this, right? If you're interested, we can talk about it later. Now, the card will reduce the fluctuation and the spikes. So, there's less damage to your appliance and there's less waste, so you end up paying less. Okay, this is a report of a telecoms company. We cannot share because they have an NDA. Now, what they found out was, this is electricity. This is how electricity works, right? Okay, if you notice the spikes, that's wasted energy. Meralco will bill us for peak. The peak is the biggest spike. So it's like Meralco is telling us that, oh, you used so much energy. But in theory, the only energy you use is the one between this red line. This is all that you use, right? But you're paying for all this. You're paying for all this. This is waste energy. You're paying for all of that. Now, what they find is when you put the card on the circuit breakers or maybe on the wire, the energy will behave. There will be less spikes. Now, since Meralco bills you for peak metering, there are less peaks. So that's why your bill is smaller. Okay, this is a sample installation. Uh-huh. Okay. Now, this is your circuit breaker. Look for the connection from Meralco. That's the one. Install this card on the cover so that when you close the cover, it lands on this area where the screw is, right? In the sub-breaker, look for the big consumers of electricity like air conditioner, refrigerator, heaters, swimming pool pumps, and such. Attach F1 cards or WC cards on the cover so that when you close the cover, it will land on top of the screw of the sub-breaker. Don't make it land on top of the wire because the wire is insulated. The screw is where the wire is connected to. So that's live. So attach it there and then close the sub-breaker and leave it observe 1, 2, 3 months. Once it's there, it will work for 10 years or more. One-time installation. If you have more cards, then just add and add and add. We actually engineer Clyde. The inventory is with him, and he forgot. He put the inventory beside the circuit breaker on top of the refrigerator. His bill is usually about 4,000. When he put cards on the circuit breaker, it went down to 2,500. Then when he put his whole inventory just beside this, just on top of the ref, which was beside the circuit breaker, it went down to 500. Okay. Now, some installations look like this. This is nice because this is a bus bar. Those copper sheets are live, so don't touch them. So if you put the cards over the bus bar, it is very efficient. I have a client that had this kind of insulation in her house, and her bill of 32,000, excuse me, went down to about 16,000. Of course, she put a lot of powerful cards on top of the bus bars. It is best that an electrician installs this if you need help and you're in Metro Manila and you're willing to, give a little tip to my driver, he can do it for you. Here's sample testimonies. So from 7,000 went down to 6,000, went down to 4,900. That's a 31%. So the amount of savings will depend on a number of things. It will depend on how efficient your wiring system is. Like I had some people who said, why doesn't it work? And then when they checked the wiring, the screws were loose. Or if you notice that your lights are flickering, that means there's something wrong with your wiring. So that means the electricity is turning on and off, on and off, and on and off. So whenever there's an on and off flickering, there's a spike. So make sure that your wiring is good. It will also depend on the number of cards that you use. And what else? Yeah, that's it. Here are some more. Here, there's a 43% savings in electricity. If you'll notice, in the next year, it went up to 17,000, which only proves that if, for example, you have the cards, but you use more electricity, it will still go up, right? But it will not go as high as previous to using the cards. Still gave him a 33% savings. So for those who are just here for the product and who are allergic to earning anything, you can stop listening to this. But for those who want to have another stream of income without trying too hard, uh, maybe you should just continue listening to this. Why would you want to listen to this? Because if you experience amazing benefits to your health, if suddenly your illness is gone, and you have friends who are sick, who are always sick, don't you want to tell them about this? Don't you want to share with them this information? And if you do share it with them and they do decide to buy, then you can earn from that. So it's not hard. Or if you save electricity, then you can tell all your neighbors how you did it. And by telling them, you can also earn on the side. So how do you start? So you sign up, you purchase a product. You just need a product kit. Actually, you don't invest in, you don't put capital. You buy a product. So unlike other investments where you have to put money first to earn, this one you don't put money. You get a product in exchange for your money. So you buy a product, then you use them, then share to your neighbors or tell them to attend meetings like this. We also appreciate if you can share your testimonies so that we can include it in our inventory of testimonies. So what are the products? Package A. Package A is made up of one Wonder card, one Fuel card, one F1 card. Okay, these other features will follow later, but the SRP of this is 9,500. You only pay 8,500, and so you have a savings of 1,000. Package B. Now this is good for if you want to put for your vehicles, for your cars, or if you have a major illness like cancer, or you just want to have two strong cards. It includes two fuel saver cards and an F1 card. The SRP of this is 10,500, but you only pay 8,500, so there is a 2,000 peso savings. Package C. This has three WC cards. These are three strong cards, which you can use for electricity, which you can use for the body. The SRP of this is 10,500 again, but you can purchase it at 8,500 and be a member with a savings of 2,000. Package D has 7 F1 cards. This can be used for the gadgets, for cell phones, for iPads, for laptops and iPads, maybe you can use 2. But for cell phones, you just need 1. This is also used for motorcycles. You use 1 or 2 for the gas tank of the motorcycle. And you can also use this for minor aches and pains. You can also use this for children because the energies are not too strong, but they're very effective. The SRP is 10,500, but you only pay 8,500, so there's a 2,000 peso savings. Okay, so how do you earn? There are 4 ways of earning. Direct sales bonus is if you just want to sell the product. Referral bonus is if you want to refer your friends and relatives. Binary bonus is in conjunction with referral bonus. And then group sales is in conjunction with repurchase or the sales bonus in number 1. Direct sales bonus. So once you're a member, again, you become a member if you had purchased 1 set of 8,500. Once you're a member, you can purchase products at 20% off. So if, for example, somebody wants to buy from you a WC and doesn't want to buy a kit, she just wants 1 product to try. The retail price of a WC is 3,500. The trader's price is, so you can get it at 2,800. So if you sell it at 3,500, you make a profit of 700. That's a 25% income for you because at 700 over your investment of 2,800, it's a 25% investment. For a F1 Micro, the SRP is 1,500. You buy it at 1,200 and you sell it at 1,500. Your profit is 300. There's a 25% profit. For the fuel card, it's 4,500. You get it at 3,600. There's a 900 sales profit if you sell it at SRP. And your percentage income is 25%. So not bad at all. The next bonus is a referral bonus. Every person that you refer into the business and that buys a kit, you will earn 1,000 pesos. So let's say you have 4 friends who bought 4 kits, 1 kit each. You will earn 4,000 pesos. That's as simple as, it's very simple. It's very easy to earn because most people need the product. Actually, everybody needs the product. So you just think in your mind, who needs to save on electricity? Who needs to save in gasoline? Who has medical issues? Who have children? Who have gadgets? Sounds like the whole world to me, right? So everybody is your client and it's a unique product. So all you do is maybe you can share the testimonies, maybe you can ask them to attend and then they will buy. Once they buy, you will earn. So it's very easy, especially for this time of pandemic where you have to look for a food to buy, you have to sell. Everybody's selling food. Can you imagine if you're selling something as amazing as this? The third way to earn is binary bonus. Remember, when you refer a person, he becomes a member, right? So he will land under you. You have a left side and a right side. This is a binary bonus. So, for example, you invited Bert and he bought a card, he bought a set from you. You earn 1,000 referral fee, remember? Anne enters under you. You earn another referral fee of 1,000. Now the system finds 1 person on the left, 1 person on the right, pays you another 1,000. So every pair, the system will pay you 1,000 pesos. Now, who can put under you? Since you only have 2 legs, you can put under yourself. You can put under the people under you, right? The people under you can put under you. You can put under you. The people on top of you can put under you. So it's a helping business. Once the system finds one on the left and one on the right, he pays you 1,000 per pair. Now this can grow automatically, right? So here he finds a pair, another pair, another pair, finds 4 pairs, so you earn 4,000. These 3 are waiting to be paired, so they can be paired like the next day, the next month, the next year. But to save the system, there's a maximum of 7 pairs. The system will pay you on 7 pairs per day. Okay, the group sales match. If, for example, you decide to just purchase products for resale, each product is assigned points. So remember, you buy the product at 20% off, but each product has points. These points now, like for example, F1, the point of one card is 0.05, Wonder card is 0.15, Fuel Saver card is 0.20. Okay, the group sales match is, so that's you again. And then people under you, let's say they buy cards for resale. So the points land under you. Once the system finds 1 point on the left and 1 point on the right, you earn 1,000. In this case, the system found 8 points to match, so you earn 8,000. The point 8 and the point 2 are waiting for future matches. It's just going to wait. The payouts are weekly on Fridays. You can only start paying out if you receive 1,000. Now each payout is subject to tax of 10%, and 10% is withheld for an e-wallet. That means you will have a credit to your account to allow you to purchase products with the e-wallet. So it forces the next sale, right? It's always nice to earn in products. I remember I have 3 industrial cards. Each industrial card is 20,000 pesos, and I never bought them. I earned them. So I have 3 very powerful cards. The initial payout is via check. Future payout hopefully will be via direct deposit. So just to review, how do you earn? You have 4 ways of earning. First, if you want to just sell, you buy the product at 20% off and you sell it and earn 25%. Referral bonus. If people want to join, to become a member and start referring people as well, you get 1,000 pesos per person referred. Now let's say that person got four sets. You will earn 1,000 from one set. The 3 sets, that person will earn the 3,000 because he referred himself. Binary bonus is when you refer a person, you have to define where to put them in your network. So once the system finds one on the left, one on the right, you earn 1,000 per match. There's a maximum earning of 7,000 or 7 matches per day, 7 days a week. This is related to the direct selling bonus. When you purchase products, you earn the 20%. Remember, you see the first compensation. You earn 20%. You buy the 20% off, but the products have points. So the products, you again arrange them on your left and your right. Once the system finds 1 point on the left and 1 point on the right, then you earn another 1,000 pesos. Now these are strategies. Let's say you have 4 friends. Let's say you only bought 1 membership. You have 4 friends. You have 2 legs, right? Left and right. So the most efficient is if you put 2 friends on the left, 2 friends on the right. You will earn referral bonus of 4,000. That's 1,000 per person. And since there are 2 pairs, you will earn 2,000 for the binary bonus, or total of 6,000 pesos for 4 friends. Now let's say, instead of having just 1 account, you have 3 membership sets. So that means you have 3 accounts. And you still have 4 friends. And you optimize by distributing the friends under you this way. Now, you will earn 4,000 referral bonus because you have 4 people that entered under you. Remember, the 2 of you under you, you also earned from that. You'll also earn 1,000 each. So you earn 2,000 from you number 2 and you number 3. The binary bonus is you number 1 has 2 pairs, right? You number 2 has 1 pair. You number 3 has 1 pair. So you have 4 pairs between the 3 of you. So you will earn 8,000 pesos with the same effort. The maximum number of membership that a single person can own is 7 memberships. Now here is a chart of the products and the points. So the sets, here are the sets from A to D. I don't want to write. From A to D. Okay, anyway. Each set costs 10,500. The SRP is 10,500, but the price that you can purchase it for is 8,500. So there's a 2,000 peso saving. Each product from 5 to 6, from F1 Micro, WC, Fuel Saver, have an SRP of 1,535 and 4,5. Trader's price is 20% less. And here are the points. Here are the points per card. Anyway,